Hi, this is George Rinaldi, and it's about 8 o'clock in the evening on September the 1st, 2010, and we have three tropical cyclones out there this evening. We have Earl, Tropical Storm Fiona, and Tropical Storm Gaston. I'm not really worried about Fiona and Gaston right now. I'm worried about Earl, as you should be if you live along the North Carolina, Virginia coast. A hurricane warning has been issued for a good part of coastal North Carolina. A tropical storm warning is in effect for the lower Virginia coast and the lower Chesapeake Bay. I honestly think, though, this tropical storm warning should be a hurricane warning for the Virginia area, especially along the coast, and maybe even as a precaution along the bay, because we could have frequent gusts over hurricane force tomorrow night over the lower Chesapeake Bay as Earl continues its march toward the U.S. coast. Earl is once again a Category 4 hurricane. I expect some weakening to occur starting tomorrow, and when it moves up to the North Carolina Outer Banks, there'll probably be a Category 3 or a high-end Category 2. And that doesn't mean put away the hurricane supplies and cancel the evacuation. Any hurricane is a dangerous hurricane. Now, my thinking right now is that Earl, it's already started to recurve just a little bit. It's moving north-northwest instead of northwest. It should continue to move north-northwest into tomorrow and be just south of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina tomorrow evening, and then start to move north and be over Cape Hatteras, North Carolina late tomorrow night or early Friday morning, and then start to turn north-northeast and move off the coast of North Carolina, probably around Oregon Inlet, and then be off Virginia Beach, probably 75 to 100 miles off Virginia Beach, early Friday morning. Hurricane conditions will begin to affect the Outer Banks of North Carolina on Thursday afternoon and Thursday night, and will persist into Friday morning, with conditions improving Friday afternoon. If you live in the Hampton Roads metropolitan area, you should see increasing winds tomorrow afternoon to about 15 to 20 miles an hour out of the east to northeast. And tomorrow night, northeast winds 30 to 40 miles an hour with gusts to 50 miles an hour. If you happen to live along like the Virginia Beach ocean front or even Ocean View, where you're more exposed to the water, you could see wind gusts to about 60 miles per hour. Late tomorrow night into early Friday morning, northeast to north winds of 35 to 45 miles an hour with gusts to 65 to 70 miles an hour possible along the Delmarva Peninsula and along the Virginia Beach ocean front. If you happen to live a little bit further inland, like Hampton, Newport News, winds could gust to about 55 to 60 miles an hour for a time as Earl passes offshore. This is enough to cause property damage. It's enough to blow trees over on top of power lines and cause power outages. So you might want to prepare yourself, get some batteries for that flashlight and whatever. Do that tonight, or better off tonight or first thing in the morning, and be ready for what Earl's going to give us. I didn't expect Earl to track rather rapidly north-northeast to be off the New Jersey coast on Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and I think the worst impact beside to the Outer Banks of North Carolina is going to be to possibly eastern Long Island and New England, like Cape Cod, Buzzards Bay, up in that area, and then late Friday night or Saturday morning, probably on Saturday morning really, we're looking for a second landfall, and I am counting the Cape Hatteras, brushy Cape Hatteras as a landfall. Second landfall near the Maine-Quebec border, and it will probably be a strong tropical storm or Category 1 hurricane then, and then it's going to move up into Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. It will still be a formidable storm. It'll be undergoing transition to a post-tropical system. It's still going to pack a pretty good wallop, though. So you folks up in the maritime provinces of Canada, you got almost 2 days yet to get ready. So I would make preparations for a strong tropical storm or a minimal hurricane. The good news is that as the storm pulls north-northeast, it's going to accelerate. So its effects, it's not really going to be an all-day event along the mid-Atlantic or from New Jersey northward and into New England. It's going to last maybe several hours, 7 to 8 hours, and then hopefully it'll be over and done with. But that's still a considerable length of time, and if you have sustained tropical storm force winds or low and hurricane force winds, that is enough to cause some property damage. If you live in an area along the coast where you're subject to tidal flooding or storm surge, you need to consider evacuation, and that evacuation should really be completed tonight. If you can't get out tonight to do so, please first thing tomorrow morning, because in all likelihood, if you find the water rising and you call 911 and say, well, the water's up to my neck, they're going to say, well, we'll see you after a hurricane, because emergency crews generally won't go out during the height of a storm to rescue people that should have evacuated. If you need help evacuating, if you're in bad health or you're otherwise infirm, you should call your local police non-emergency number or contact your local fire department. If they can't help you, they'll send somebody over to camp. And if you're able-bodied, help your neighbors out. Help them pack their stuff, help them, get your papers or their medicine together or whatever they need to take. Let's make this a team effort, everybody. Let's work together. Let's keep everybody safe from Earl. I'm going to try to do another update later this evening, and y'all have a good evening.